Hi everyone, today we're here to talk about a very important topic for children and their educational careers. And the topic is reading. So you may not know this about me, but I used to be a reading specialist a few years ago. I was very interested in the topic of reading, and in particular, in reading for children with disabilities. I used to work with a very renowned expert in the area of dyslexia, Dr. Erie, and she had done a lot of research on what helps children read best. She was featured everywhere, but definitely in a lot of educational journals because she was one of the forefront experts in the area of phonetics and how children learn to read from a very young age. So at that time, I did some research with her as I was interested in completing my doctorate, my PhD in the area of reading. I then changed course and did it in something different, which we will talk another day. But I always maintain that interest in what helps children learn to read and why. The reason is because I work with very young children. My children tend to be months old to 3-4 years old. That's the bulk of the children that I work with. And working with young children, I do see everything that Dr. Erie talked about and everything that she had research on, which is that young children learn by the use of strong structure of enjoying what they're doing, having a very strong phonemic awareness foundation, teaching of phonics, the sound relationship with the letter. And this kind of became the foundation, but not only the foundation when they start kindergarten or first grade, it was a foundation when children were much younger. Another very important thing that I learned while I was working with her those years was that reading really starts from when a child is very young. So sometimes when we see speech language delays in a child that's 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old, that gets carried over to later on in life. So without further ado, I wanted to do this little review here of a program that I saw circulating on the web the last few months. And this program is called Reading Head Start by Sarah Sheppard. And I was a little skeptical at first. I didn't know exactly what this program was. And so I did some more research myself and realized this is really based on all these principles. So the Reading Head Start is based on a few principles I will go over in a minute. But just to make them really specific, 1, your child needs to be exposed to a language-rich environment. Everything that has to do with reading has to be surrounding your child. Language-rich, speech-rich. The Reading Head Start program supports this kind of notion, which I've talked about in plenty of videos before this. If you need to learn more about providing a language-rich environment, look at any of my other videos, but it's a very important first step. Number 2, there has to be phonemic awareness, and phonemic awareness as a foundation, and we'll talk more about this in a second, but as a foundation to creating that love of learning, that love of reading later on in life. And number 3, creating that environment where your child is going to be so comfortable and you're going to be pairing wonderful things, beautiful things with reading, so that when your child thinks about reading, associates all those wonderful things with reading, pretty much like you would in a commercial. So a little more about phonemic awareness. What's phonemic awareness? That's when your child starts to associate the sound with the letter. And why is this important? Because we know from research that if your child has trouble decoding words, your child is going to lose interest in reading. So the more your child can learn to decode words, the easier it's going to be for your child to read, and the more they're going to be inclined to reading more and more and more. You want to create this love of reading. You want to create this desire to read more. Why? Because you want to create an academic career for your child. You want them to be able to read the newspaper. You want them to be able to be critical thinkers. And they can't do this if they're not a reader first. So, of course, I was interested in knowing more about the Reading Head Start. And, the Reading Head Start does have all the components that are important for children to learn to read. Furthermore, it's not just a book or a video or something that you buy and then you forget about. The Reading Head Start is a subscription, and it makes the parent a team player and an important part of the process, which is also incredibly important when you're teaching your very, very young children to read. We're talking about starting to teach your child from the time they're 1, 2, 3, when they're really, really young. We don't want to start when they start school. We want to start when they're very, very little. So the parent becomes an important part of the process. And so, always there is, with me at least, there is this price conscious part to me that I would not recommend something to a parent unless I know that the price really matches what they offer. And I have to tell you that not only does it match it, but I feel like you're getting a really good deal, especially if you subscribe to the $1 trial. So you can try this method for 3 days. You just paid $1. And if for some reason you think that this is enough for you, which of course, you have your own lifestyle and you see if you can incorporate this into your life. If you think you can devote the time to teaching your child this method, then you pay $37 a month after that, and you can cancel at any time. But you keep the knowledge that you acquired through this subscription and through this method. So I feel like even if you just get to see it for a month or two, you will get your money's worth, and you will learn the importance of all these components of reading that are so important for your child's future. So I'm going to leave the link down here, down below, and also in the comments. If you click that link, you will get access to the $1 trial. And after that, you can either pay for the year or you can have lifetime access. If you pay for the year, you have lifetime access. It's definitely cheaper. But if you just want to invest your first $37 and see how it works in your life, and if it doesn't, then you just cancel. And that's all. And it's your you only invested $37. Or if you just want to pay the dollar and try it for 3 days, you can do that too. Please try it. Click on that link that I'm going to leave here so you can get the trial. Let me know how you did in the comments. And let me know how I can help. If there's anything that you need to know from me, if I can help you with anything about reading or anything else, please let me know in the comments and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.